Hello. It's been a while. I'm sorry about that. I'm finally settled again, or mostly settled. All of my stuff and my books are back with me, so that's all that matters. And I have recently created a Notion list of all of my books that I own either in physical or on Kindle. And so we're going to do a reading vlog because I desperately need to get through some of these. I'm going to turn you round, but why is this not scrolling? There we go. You can kind of see it's a little bit, just the tiniest bit out of control, just a little bit. So I'm going to read some books. I am currently reading The Girls. I've just been at work. I've finally got a job. I'm a stable hand, and I've been at work this morning, and my arms hurt like hell. But yeah, I'm currently reading The Girls I've Been. I am 68 pages in. I have just finished reading Ella, Dracula. Ella! Hi baby. Ella, sit! So yeah, I've just finished reading Dracula. After so many years of saying I would read it, I have finally read it. So yeah, I'm gonna get on and read some of this, and apparently give Ella some love. So yeah, my plan is to read that. I have The Spirit Engineer on Kindle that I need to read, or want to read, especially now it's coming into October. Today's the last day of September. And also You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, but I need to dig through a box to find my copy of that. I do have it on Kindle, but I'd rather read it in physical so I can annotate it. Oh yeah, also update, we have a dog now. I thought just before I get to reading properly for the day, I would give you a quick October TBR because I can't be bothered to make a separate video of it. So obviously, the first book is The Girls I've Been. I might be able to finish most of this today, if not all of it, which means it will still count towards September. I might get the audiobook of it just so I can try and smash it out. And then next I've got Verity by Colleen Hoover. I have not joined in on the Colleen Hoover hype yet. This will be my first Colleen Hoover book. I have 2 others of hers, but apparently this is spooky, or it's a thriller, which is perfect for October because I'm a mood reader, and in this time of year I just want like dark academia, thrillers, horrors mostly. I do want some like lighter hearted ones in there, but yeah. So next up I have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I bought this last year, it fully intended to read it, and then just never did. I didn't get time. It got round to Christmas, and Christmas just felt not the right time to be reading this, so I'm gonna give it a go this year. It's quite a big book, but I do have the audiobook of it, so I should be able to fly through it pretty quickly. Next up is Reprieve, another horror book. Again, I bought this at the beginning of the year because it was on offer, and it's the Waterstones exclusive with the sprayed edges. And when I bought it, I thought I would want to read it straight away, and then I realised it's the sort of book I would want to read during spooky season, so I'm hoping to get through this as well. It's quite a big book, I think, but the font is also quite big. That is the one good thing about hardbacks, is the font is usually bigger, so I can get through them quicker. Next up, and this is a book I'm intending to try and get to today if I can finish The Girls I've Been, and that is You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. I'm so excited to read this. It sounds really good. I haven't read any literary fiction for a little while now. I went very to my normal accent there. Yeah, I'm hoping to get to this. I fancy just something I can really sink my teeth into, underline, fold down pages, get the quotes. I think that's what this is going to be. So I think I am going to get the Girls I've Been audiobook, so I can try and get to this today. Because I'm so excited. I also have the audiobook for this, I've been I've just bought some more Audible credits so I could get some more books. I'm kind of annoyed that Spotify have just started doing audiobooks, but it's only in the US at the moment, because if they do start doing that, I might swap from Audible and just start paying for a Spotify account instead, because then I'll get all of my music as well, because Spotify is what I use. Anyway, that was a tangent. Next I have How to Kill Your Family, another book that I've been sitting. Actually no, I bought this year, so that's okay. I'm very excited to read this. I don't know much about it, but I kind of enjoy going into books blind. As long as I know kind of what genre they're in and what roughly to expect, I kind of like going in blind and letting the book, because then I've got no preconceived thoughts on it. Book I definitely don't know much about, because the blurb is not very long at all, and that is Leave the World Behind. This is a very short book, although the words are tiny. Oh my goodness. Trying to get to this soon. Hopefully, at some point, I'm going to be able to do a 24-hour reading challenge. I was going to do it today, but my partner's will be home from work, and then he will be on nights tomorrow night, so it's just not a good time. And then all of the other books I've got, I'm going to read from my laptop, because they're all on my Kindle, and my Kindle's trying to download things and it's not having a fun time. So next I've got Wolf Gone Wild. I think that's just a cute little romance, Halloween-y type book. The Atlas Six. Hopefully I'll get to it. I'm not holding my breath. I was going to get the audiobook, but I've heard reviews of the audiobook that it's not very good. Next I have XOXO by Amy O. Again, another just light-hearted read in amongst all of the heavy reads that I'm probably going to be doing this month. Then I have The Spirit Engineer. I bought the audiobook for that today, so that should be a nice, another easy, quick read. Gothics and horrors and things, I usually just fly through them because I want to know what happens. Yeah, that's all of them. So that's my TBR for this month. Really ambitious. I think it's something like 11 or 12 books. Crazy that I'm going to attempt it. Although saying that, I have a lot of free time because I can't drive, so I can't go anywhere. So I can read a lot. I work for at most 3 hours a day, so that's not a big issue. And my partner's at work most of the day, so I'm just home alone with nothing better to do. So yeah, I'm going to get to reading. Actually, I'm going to get the audiobook of this first so I can hopefully finish it quicker, because it's a very good book, but considering it's supposed to be fast-paced, I'm just not reading it very quickly. I'm trying to think of a way to tell you what's happened up to this point without spoiling it, but I can't. I think I might read a bit more and then talk to you about it, but at the moment we've met our our main character and two side characters. So the main girl, who has been many girls because she comes from a con artist family, and they are now in the middle of a bank heist. I can tell you that because it's on the blurb. And she has to come up with a plan to get them out of this heist, and she has just begun the plan, is where I'm up to. I'm really enjoying it so far. On the back of this, it does say that it's in development for a film with Millie Bobby Brown, and I can see why. This book will translate. There are very few books that I think will translate extremely well to screen. This book reads like a movie does, so I'm excited for if that actually comes to fruition. But yeah, I'm going to stop blathering and I'm going to go and get some reading done in a bit. So I've been reading now for just over an hour. I am just over halfway. I'm on page 201 of 350 something, so I've made really good progress. This is the benefit of audiobooks. You can read so much faster, or I can. It helps me so much to concentrate. But I'm going to have a break now. I'm going to watch some YouTube TV and eat some lunch. and then I'm going to go back to this because my audiobook's saying it's only going to take me just under 2 hours, or about 2 hours. Now I'm, oh excuse me. Now I'm further into this book. Yeah, it's really good. The bank heist has taken twists and turns I was not expecting. Oh, by the way, if you can hear like a whirring sound, it's because we've got ceiling fans, and it's too hot to exist without them. So there's that. But yeah, food time, and then back to reading this book. Lunch is had. I've now got a cup of coffee, and I'm going to get back to reading. The audiobook's saying I've got 2 hours left, so it's currently just after 12, so I should be done by about 2 o'clock. So I should be able to get a lot of another book also in today, which is quite nice. I'm really enjoying this book, and especially now I've got the audiobook, it is such a quick read. I think it would have been a quick read without it as well. But I just went for the audiobook because I'm just enjoying listening to an audiobook and reading physically at the moment. I'm just in one of those phases, so yeah, I'm going to get back to this, and I will talk to you probably once I've finished it now, because I'm so close to the end. I'm on the final part, because it's split into 3 parts, and I've only got 150 pages left, so that should not take me long at all. Time to get on with it. I have just finished The Girls I Have Been. It's now 4 o'clock. It took me longer than expected to read it because my nan phoned me and we had a chat, so that was nice. But, wow, what a book. I've rated it 5 stars. That blew my socks off. I thought it was incredible. I want a second book now. I want more of that, of those characters. I want to know more. Unfortunately, I think it will never get a sequel. I think it will always be a standalone. But I do want a second one. Just following the same people. I said I was going to read You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. But I have just bought the Sad Ghost Club graphic novels. And I've really been enjoying, oh dear. Whoops. I've really been enjoying graphic novels these last few days, so I'm going to try and knock one, if not both of these out, which will then put my read books in September up to 16, which is insane. But I have many hours of a day left still, so I'm going to sit and do that. I've got a dog companion on my other sofa, but she was getting in the way and being annoying, so I've let her go and sit over there rather than sitting on me. But yeah, I'm going to go and make myself some more coffee, and then I'm going to sit and curl up with this book. It's 31 degrees here today. I just want it to be autumn. I just don't want these hot temperatures anymore, because I am dying. I want to wear something other than summer dresses. I want to wear those autumn clothes. I want some miserable weather. Sunshine is nice, but when you have it every single day, it starts to get a bit samey. So I'm going to yawn. I'm going to go and read some of the Sad Ghost Club. Probably all of it, to be honest, because it's not very long. And I will see you probably once I've finished it. Hello, it's now about an hour after I last spoke to you. I have been reading on my Kindle. I have just read the Sad Ghost Club graphic novel and the second one, and oh my goodness, they're so sweet. I wish back in like 2016, when I was going through a rough patch, I was like at a point where I was in 6th form, or like the end of high school if you're American, and I was really struggling with friends and how I was going to go about my life after school, like big feelings you have when you're like 16, 17, I just wish I had these, because they would have made me feel not so alone, and that it is a universal thing that people are going through. I can still relate to it now. I am in a completely new place with one person, knowing one person when I came out here, and that was my husband. So I can fully understand and relate to these books I've just read. They didn't take me very long to read. They're graphic novels. I usually absolutely fly through graphic novels, which I love. I'm currently downloading Bloom, which is another graphic novel, but it is taking forever, so I'm going to sit and watch some YouTube. I might crack open a beer because it's now like 5 o'clock and I'm just feeling in the mood for a cold beer. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to wait for Bloom to download because I think I am in the mood for that, and then I can start afresh from tomorrow with like proper reading. I might start, I've just downloaded a load more books, as if I needed to add any more onto my, sorry, I've got a bite on my arm, as if I needed to put any more books on my Kindle, but one of them's a collection of short stories, so I might just start on that and just read a couple here and there. You put down the phone. You've nowhere to quarantining once I've watched this video, and then start another book, which will mean that I'm on to my 4th book of the day, which is insane, completely insane. You've nowhere to go. Hello, it is now Saturday. I didn't get to film during the day today because I went out with my in-laws, and also I've just got back from work. That's why I've got wet hair, because I came home and I smelled like a horse, which, I mean, I do work at a stable, so that does kind of make sense, but I've got no reading done today. I had planned on reading either You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty or Ninth House tonight, just getting some of it, like, some read. But I'm really just in the mood for some romance, so I'm gonna have a look through my list and see if I've got any queer romances left to read. Because if I'm gonna read a romance, I want like sappy, like university age, quite often set in New York. I really like queer, because queer romance is set in New York. Don't know why, I just do. But where I am is a very straight environment, and that is so different from my life before this, because university I lived in a completely queer household, or 90% queer household. Most of my course there was queer people, my friends outside, like my best friend and a couple of other of my friends, and then even in school I kind of gravitated towards the queer people because they were the artistic bunch, and obviously validates me because I am queer, so you know, so that's why I read them. It makes me feel like I'm still like clinging on to that bit of identity. So if you could leave down below if you know of any queer books, basically, it doesn't even need to be romance, a queer book that's set in New York or London or in a city, let me know, because I am desperately looking for recs for that. Preferably without the kill your gays tropes, because that makes me extremely uncomfortable. I don't mind if it just happens that they die, but if that's a huge plot point, I don't like it. Well, I managed to find the perfect book amongst the boxes for what I want. I cannot wait to rip those boxes apart when I get bookshelves and finally organise them properly. But anyway, I have picked up to read The Magnificent Sons. This is about a bisexual character struggling with coming out once his brother comes out as gay, and he wants to make his life as wonderful as it can be. I'm really looking forward to reading this because not often do I read books with bisexual characters, and it's what I can relate to the most. So I'm going to give this a go and see if I can get through it. I'm hoping it's going to be somewhat literary, somewhat cute. So, looking forward to it. Oh my goodness, my flush is bright. I have read one chapter of The Magnificent Sons, and so far I like it. I'm only like 20 pages in, so it could go all downhill from here. But how I would describe it is almost like a Sally Rooney-esque book, but make it gay or gayer. I'm really enjoying the writing style. It's literary, but it's not overly convoluted, which sometimes literary fiction can be. I've just realised I'm wearing glasses, and all you can probably see is a reflection of the flash. But yeah, I've not read very much today because I just don't have the energy to read. I've been really busy. I've been on my feet all day. I'm gonna call it for today. I've read 20 pages, so I have read something, which my goal at the beginning of the year was to read every day if I could, and I've managed that. So I'm gonna curl up and scroll some TikTok and have cuddles with Ella because she's next to me, and just call it a night. I will catch up with you soon. Good afternoon. It is now Friday. That is too many days since I've last spoken to you in this vlog. My hair looks awful. I need to wash it. But I've had my in-laws here for the last 4 days, so I didn't really get much reading done. Although saying that, I did read all of Verity by Colleen Hoover. I had an audiobook for it and the physical book, and where I was listening to it on 3 times speed. It took me about 2 hours to read. It is so quick to read. Really enjoyed it. Didn't think I was going to enjoy Colleen Hoover books. The last thing you saw me reading was Magnificent Sons. I've read 2 chapters of it and I just cannot get into it. So I've put that to the side, and I'm now listening to The Spirit Engineer by, I think it's AJ West. I've nearly finished it. I've got about 2 hours left. Well, actually, I've got more than 2 hours left, but on the speed I'm listening to it at, I've got about 2 hours left. Really enjoying it. I get to this time of year and then forget how much I actually enjoy gothic stories. But yeah, so I'm listening to that. I'm also finally got my drawing set up back, so I'm going to try and catch up on Inktober. It's only 7 drawings I've got to try and catch up on, so only a few. I might just take a couple of prompts I like, because there's some that I just know I wouldn't be able to draw. Oh, Sunday. So I think the last time I talked to you was Friday. I have now finished The Spirit Engineer, and wow, what a book. I didn't get any reading done yesterday because I was working, and that took priority. But yeah, I finished it. All I can say is, wow, what a book. I did not see the last 100 pages coming. Well, obviously I saw them coming, but I didn't see what happened in those last 100 pages coming. I'm definitely going to get myself a physical copy of it because I read it on Kindle, and that's a book I want to put on my shelf. I would say it's a 4-star read just because the first bit was so slow for me. In a way, I needed that slowness, but I just think more could have happened. I am now going to finish this video, otherwise it's going to end up really long. But just to keep you updated on my reading, I'm going to now start on Ninth House. I'll probably do a completely separate video about my thoughts and feelings on that. I might also take a nap because I am tired. But yeah, so I've read a lot. well, I've not read a lot this week. I think that's because I read so much at the end of September that I just crashed out with my reading. I'm slowly picking up the pace. Audiobooks are helping a lot with that. So that's good. My TBR for October is slowly shrinking, so that is also a positive. I think I've only got, let's have a look. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 8 books left on my October TBR. I probably won't get through all of them. But I made it like an ambitious TBR so I could then pick and choose on what I actually wanted to read, depending on my mood. So yeah, I'm going to pick up Ninth House. I've given up on Magnificent Sons. I'm going to wait until I can get an audiobook for it because I think that's going to help me get through it a lot better. Or a lot quicker. Just until we're like into the thick of that story. I might try and read another chapter. But that has been my week, or just over a week of reading, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!